Good morning, Coach.
Hello.
Good morning,
Hi.
listeners. How are you guys? It's happy Wednesday here at VA Claims Insider. Thank you guys for spending some time with us today. And before we get started on our topic, let's sound off in the comments. Tell us where you're tuning in from, what branch you served in, what years you served, and we'll start saying hello.
Good morning, Miss Eldridge.
Good morning. Thanks for joining us. Give some people some time to trickle in. I know sometimes I'm late to these things if I'm tuning in. So I like to give everybody a little bit of time to find us, click the link, get their stuff working. How are you today, Coach Rochelle?
I'm doing great. Thanks for asking, Coach Liz. It's Wednesday. We're getting stuff done. So
Yes.
definitely.
You're in Gladstone, Missouri. You are seriously maybe 5 miles from me. That's amazing. Dennis, Ohio Air Force and Army. Thank you, Dennis.
Veteran Irvin from Tampa. That's right down the street from me.
Edwin, welcome. Army since 1999. So you're still serving. That's amazing. Thank you for your service and your continued service. Edmond Air Force 79 to 83. Thank you, sir. Good to see you all in here. It's always fun to come and do these. Anxiety provoking, yes, but still fun to get to have this platform and talk to you all.
Yeah, let's get warmed up. Let's, whenever we're with our vets here, they always make us feel comfortable. So I'll take the energy from all of you.
Absolutely. Fred, Air Force 80 to 91. Thank you, sir.
Ooh, you got one of your veterans in here.
Hey, Richard, welcome. Miss Eldridge, Army 76 to 79. Thank you. Mark, U.S. Army, Huntsville, Alabama. Awesome. Thank you all. We appreciate you coming in. We appreciate your service, and we're thrilled to be here today to talk to you. And we are talking about fully developed claims today. So we'll get into the weeds in that in just a couple of minutes, but we wanted to give you all the opportunity to shout out, tell us who you are, where you're from, if you're just joining us. Pop in with the chat and let us know. We'll say hello and good morning, good afternoon, depending on where you are. Clarence, Navy, and Army. So which do you cheer for, Army or Navy?
Whoever's winning.
Jose, Army from Florida, a couple of years, a couple of different service periods. Thank you. Awesome. Well, let's go ahead and get started, Coach Rochelle. I'll introduce myself first. I am Senior Veteran Coach Elizabeth Hash. I am an Army brat and a veteran. I joined when I was 17 and spent my whole adult life in the military. I retired from AGR, Active Duty Army National Guard, as a recruiter in 2020. Don't hate me. I was terrified when I transitioned out of the military because I truly had no idea what I wanted to do when I grew up. Again, my whole life has been military, my dad, me. And so getting out the thought of coming into civilian life was truly terrifying. Thankfully, I got the opportunity to continue working with veterans here at VACI, and it's truly a blessing to serve all of you. I appreciate you joining us and coming to us for this hour of your day. And I'll turn it over to Coach Rochelle Seabury.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes. Thank you for your service, Coach Liz. And it's a pleasure serving with you here at VACI. I'm Coach Rochelle Seabury. Although a non-veteran, I grew up a Navy brat and am the wife of a lieutenant colonel in the Army. So we're still currently serving. Since I've joined the company over a year ago, I found such an amazing family here in VACI, from the coaches to the veterans, and of course, my veteran spouses and families. Everyone is such an important part of this process. Thank you all for your service, and I'm happy to be here helping veterans get the disability rating they deserve.
Love it.
So you're here to join us to talk about fully developed claims, right? So there's the difference between, what is a fully developed claim and then what is a standard claim. So we'll kind of touch on that, go through what factors go into a fully developed claim, but just the slight difference between the two, right? I'd say the best way to define the difference between the two is the confidence in your submission and its outcome. It's a great way to get your VA claim processed quickly and efficiently and maintain complete control, because that's probably the hardest part, right? Is giving up control and just seeing what the results might be. At least in a fully developed claim, you'll learn with us today what it really takes to take control. You're in control of your claim, and the evidence submitted and your claim will be decided faster, more accurately, because the VA doesn't need to look elsewhere for the medical evidence or personnel records, because you've already uploaded everything in support of your claim. That is what a fully developed claim is. Now, the difference is, I guess, so the VA publishes that claims can take anywhere from 90 to 120 days. That's what's published. Now,
that's a broader spectrum.
Right. Now, of course, the decision process is unpredictable and can take anywhere from, in reality, days to years. So it is situational, of course. That's why taking a hold of your claim is where, what warrants where it falls in that spectrum, wide spectrum, like Coach Liz just said. Now, it's because the VA has a duty to assist, right? They have a duty to assist the veteran in obtaining any necessary medical personnel documentation to make a rating decision. Now, the VA is required to obtain the military personnel records, whether it be by service treatment records or VA medical records. Thus, you aren't required to upload them. This would be identified as a standard claim if you don't gather all of your medical records, which requires further development by a veteran service representative to obtain those records for you. So to clarify all of that, standard claims require further development by a veteran service representative, such as obtaining private treatment records, personnel records, and etc. Whereas a fully developed claim is where the claimant submits everything needed to be reviewed to prove the service connection. So let's go over that. VACI has a 91% success rate, and we specialize in fully developed claims. Most important thing to know about a fully developed claim is that you are telling the VA that you have submitted all the supporting documents or additional forms needed to support your claim. So Coach Liz, can you kind of break down what evidence needs to be submitted to get a VA disability claim approved?
Absolutely. To get your claim approved, you must have 3 essential elements. A fully developed claim has all 3 of these components, and they make up the Kaluza triangle. The Kaluza triangle identifies and defines what is necessary for that service connection. The first thing you need is a medical diagnosis of a disability condition. If you don't have a current diagnosis, as Brian says, get your butt to the doctor. Your diagnosis can come from military doctors, private providers, or VA providers. And they're non-discriminate. Medical evidence is medical evidence. So you need a diagnosis and current treatment that shows there's something disabling about your condition today. The second thing you need is an in-service event, disease, injury, or aggravation. You need to prove to the VA that your condition was caused or made worse by your active duty military service. An in-service event can also be an already service-connected condition. A nexus is the third thing that you need. This is where a lot of claims are denied because they don't have a nexus. A nexus is the link that a medical provider makes by giving their opinion that it is at least as likely as not, because of your in-service event, injury, disease, that your current condition exists. This opinion is most successful when it's supported by a sound rationale based on knowledge of the veteran's medical history and case studies from medical journals. And this is where most claims are denied because they don't have a nexus. And bonus, if you don't know where to get a nexus letter, you can click on the link to set up a free discovery call, and one of our business development representatives can get you situated with a coach so that you can talk about how to obtain that evidence. And at VACI, we believe the Kaluza triangle is incomplete. We have added a critical component and call it the golden circle. The fourth and final piece is the severity of symptoms. In order to have your rating accurately reflect the impact of your condition on your life, you must be able to articulate the severity of your symptoms. What are your current symptoms? You need to describe them in terms of frequency and duration. How severe are your symptoms, and how do they impact your social functioning, your occupational functioning? And then what should you be rated based on the 38 CFR Part 4? You need to do that research and understand how your condition is rated by the VA, what that looks like, what is the breakdown. When you have all 4 of those components, that is going to make up your fully developed claim. And that is going to be everything that you should need to get your service connection and get rated accurately. Now, we all know sometimes the VA gets things wrong. It happens. And you can be denied when you have all of these components, but the likelihood of that goes down significantly. And that's why we recommend that you gather everything on the front end so it takes less time on the back end when it gets to the VA.
I like to kind of add on to your 4-part golden circle, right? Like when you to kind of carry on from, sometimes they get it wrong. Sometimes your claim is denied, even though you put together this fully developed claim and met all 4 parts of the golden circle. So the great thing about it is the key to why your claim was denied is in that decision letter, right? And it'll identify what they have distinguished as favorable findings. So when you read it, you want to work backwards. Okay, what part of the 4-part are they saying is in my claim that I submitted, and what part isn't in my claim that was submitted? And when they identify that something in your claim wasn't submitted, you put together a fully developed claim. So you know what you submitted, you know what you provided them with, and that's a whole nother story of an appeal. But in the same sense, it's working backwards from building your claim properly and then breaking down why it should have warranted service connection.
Absolutely. And you guys, it really is that simple. And so now we'd like to open up the floor to questions that you have regarding fully developed claims, or what is a diagnosis, anything like that you guys are interested in hearing about. Please, let's ask, let's have a conversation. We're here for the full hour. So we would love to engage with you and chat with you guys. So pop up some of those questions. Awesome. We've got Johnny Bates, Army from Greenville, South Carolina. Do you get back pay 25 years? I would like some more context with your question, please, Johnny. Back pay is a tumultuous thing with the VA. And what you need to do in the beginning is file an intent. So if you're thinking about filing a claim for compensation, put in an intent to file. You can do that either through va.gov or by calling the 800 number, 800-827-1000, and putting your intent. That's going to hold your date. Thank you, Aaron, for posting that. That VA helpline right there. So you can call and get your intent to file on the line, and that's going to start your date. Now, if you don't have an active diagnosis, it might not go back to that date for back pay. There are so many factors that they consider when talking about back pay. And it can be frustrating, but the short answer is no, you're not going to get back pay 25 years, unfortunately. And, there is a way to get back pay if you're continuously pursuing a claim through appeal processes and things of that nature. But it's situational. And with that said, what a great time to call and see if you can get on with a coach who understands this process and who can dig into your specific scenarios to see what you're eligible for, what you could be missing. And you can click on that link to get started for your free call today. So thank you. All right. We've got some other ones. Dennis, why are they so quick to deny sleep apnea? I sent a fully developed claim and got it denied in 2 weeks. That's not uncommon. You have to fight for sleep apnea. Mm-hmm. You have to absolutely fight for sleep apnea. I've seen a trend that usually with sleep apnea, it's like the third or fourth go from higher level review, supplemental, higher level, supplemental. You've got to hit them 100 times before they're going to concede sleep apnea if you were not diagnosed in service.
Right. I call it the unicorn claim. That's my nickname. Sleep apnea claims.
I love sleep apnea claims, but I also am tenacious and love to keep fighting, because the links are there. The medical journals support that there are secondary links to other service-connected conditions. So if that link is there, and if you have that medical support, those supporting documents, keep hitting them. Keep hitting them with it, for sure. All right, let's get to another one. So Fred says some of the orthopedic doctors in his civilian medical plan are quacks. I understand the dilemma that some providers have with filling out VA forms, and it's across the board. It's not just California. It's doctors everywhere. VA doctors aren't going to give you a Nexus most of the time. Private doctors generally don't know what they want, and so they're hesitant to put anything on any government forms. And can you blame them? I mean, I can't. So one of the things that you get by becoming an elite member with VA Claims Insider is access to a network of providers at a cost that's discounted for our veterans. And the link is on the screen. Telemedica LLC. They specialize in medical evidence to support VA claims. So all kinds of things. Official diagnosis. If you've been treated for the same condition for 15 years, but the VA won't diagnose you, or your private medical physician says, it could be this, could be that. I've seen that time and time again.
So many times.
So if you need an official diagnosis, and if you need that Nexus statement that is supported by a rationale that has data to support it, then that's absolutely a great place to go. There are other companies that specialize in those things as well. So feel free to reach out and do those things as well. Do the research, see if you have providers locally that can help. Telemedica is all telehealth, so they make it easy. They make it easy and they come to you. So let's see. Can I get a Nexus? This is from Ron. For 13 years after retirement, I had no idea what tinnitus was when I retired. Do you have a recent diagnosis from the VA? So Ron, it is possible, yes. It's not always necessary with tinnitus. And tinnitus, however you choose to say it. I feel like it's potato. I hear it all kinds of ways. But tinnitus is one of those things that you can self-diagnose, and the VA has approved those before without a Nexus. So that really depends on your situation. I mean, if you spent the years after service going to the shooting range without hearing protection, or going to concerts, standing right by this big booming speaker, it's not likely. However, if you have a good solid understanding of when it started and can articulate that, if you had an event, if a grenade exploded on the other side of a berm because somebody just kind of dropped it, right? Then, and you didn't have your earplugs in, or there's an incident or an IED went off right outside your convoy, things like that. Yes, absolutely. That's the in-service event we're talking about. And then there's an easy nexus there that the VA can find. So not everything requires a written medical nexus, but it's so impossible to determine that in this forum.
Mhm.
And that's why we really recommend at least getting on the phone, have a free call, or you can sign up directly with one of us, and we can walk you through that too. So definitely get on the phone, let us know. Um, AJ asks, are these services ideal for someone filing an initial claim just after retiring? I think so.
I
Yeah,
think so. Yeah.
absolutely. I retired in 2020 and had a rating right after I got out, but it wasn't what I thought it should be. And through, coming to VA Claims Insider as a coach and learning what I've learned, it was instrumental in getting me my rating. And I'm 100% permanent and total now. So, yes,
Yeah, the process is different.
absolutely.
I feel like when I get some veterans who have been trying for years, the throwing spaghetti at the wall method and seeing what sticks. Yeah, we can still go for these things, but the process is different, right? We can't put together a fully developed claim or standard claim on previously denied claims. You now have to put together a supplemental, which is a completely different process. So definitely, if you can start the process properly, accurately, efficiently from the moment you retire, it's a great place to kind of get the rating you deserve immediately.
Awesome. Thanks for that. Let's see. Our Nino. Uh, Comment on VA outsourcing medical appointments for vets, waiting for a survey on 2 different entities. They totally overlooked my heart condition. Unfortunately, that's not uncommon. And um, the outsourcing medical appointments, there are 2 ways that this happens. One, if you're being outsourced for a VA claim, it's a contracting company, and the VA will contract CNP, compensation and pension exams, to one of 3 places: QTC, LHI, and VES. They're the only 3 with contracts right now. Um, Outsourcing doctors as far as treatment, there is a community care program through the VA that can allow you to get treatment through doctors outside of the VA. And uh, having overlooked conditions, my heart goes out to you. And I'm so glad that you recognize it. You know what it is now, and you can get it taken care of. Um, there's a human element to all of this, right? And that's why we exist. That's why we're here, and we want to be that voice for you, to talk to you and help keep you motivated through this process. It can be daunting. It can feel like a full-time job, going to the doctor, getting these documents, finding these documents, uploading them, making these phone calls. It's exhausting. And we're here to mentor you through that process, to coach you, to teach you how to be successful. And we operate at VACI based on a method we call SEAM, and it's strategy, education, and medical evidence. So, to get started on formulating a strategy, get on the phone, get signed up for a free call. That starts the process today, and it will carry through, and you'll have access to all of our educational resources. This is one of our educational resources. We came today, we talked about fully developed claims, we're answering questions. It's a live forum. And so there's opportunity for us to interact, which is so much fun. We also have live Zoom classes and YouTube resources, blog resources, podcasts. We're on Twitter, we're on TikTok, we're on Facebook, we're everywhere. It's amazing. There's so many educational resources. And then that last piece is the piece that's so important for your fully developed claims, that medical evidence. And helping you to understand where to go and get it is a crucial piece to that. So I'm really excited to get to do this every day. Uh, we'll I'll get off my soapbox and go to some more questions.
Miss Paula added, that's no joke. It definitely feels like a full-time job at times. Then the waiting game is bad too. So
It
it
is.
doesn't just stop when you submit your claim. it, it's a process for sure. But we're here for all of it, right? To wait when the decision comes back, to kind of break it apart, explain it. Kind of, that's the biggest thing, right? You get a decision letter, whether it be an approval letter, right? Trying to make sure that your effective date is correct. That's important, even when you win a claim. But also in addition to like whether you were rated properly, right? Because it'll explain that. But then also on the denial side of things, then you've got, okay, why wasn't it warranted, right? What part are they stating is the reason why the claim was denied? So we go through all of that with you. And it's great to have that support and to know that through it you have someone.
Absolutely. What other questions do you guys have? We have 33 whole minutes left to chat with you all. So please join us. And if we missed your question, post it again, because there's a lot coming in for us to see, and we might miss things. So if there's something we didn't get to, if you're just curious, put it in there. Rick Dowdy popped in. He's one of yours.
Yay. Hey, Rick.
You know, it's funny. You and I both have a Rick who love us, and it feels pretty good.
It feels pretty good.
It feels pretty good.
Yeah.
We're pretty blessed. And you guys, you know, we don't just have an impact on your life. You truly impact our lives.
Absolutely.
So we appreciate the opportunity to get to do this every day. Edwin, can I claim VA benefits for DVT, deep vein thrombosis? So, short answer, yes, you can claim that condition. Again, there is the 38 CFR Part 4. You need to do the research, check that out, see how it's rated. It's a long legal document that I don't have memorized, but there's some great information in there. And also get with a coach, get started. You know, the reason that we point to this so frequently is because this isn't a cookie cutter, one size fits all operation. Everybody's situation is so unique. And these subtle differences may not seem like much when you're talking to a friend, but they're huge when you're determining what you need to do for your claim. And so that's why it's so crucial to get somebody in your corner, on your team, who knows, okay, this is what this means. Let's go this route. Absolutely.
Yeah, I think when it comes to like strategy calls with, you know, an assigned coach, they get a good look at your overall picture, right? Okay, what conditions are you dealing with? If DVT is a condition, you know, like that's either primary, it's in your service records, or whether it is a secondary condition and you can't quite claim it yet until you get your primary condition service connected first. All of that are factors that, you know, like Coach Liz just said, we can't see your full deep story, your medical records on a platform like this. So it would be extremely beneficial for one to see if that's the best strategy to start with, or even what other conditions you qualify for that might be a path of lesser resistance, right? Because it's already such a rough process as it is. So jump on the phone, get with a coach.
Absolutely. All right. John says he submitted a fully developed claim 92 days ago. What's the average turnaround? Again, the VA says what, 20 to 120 days?
90
what did they
to
say? 90 to
120
days.
Yeah.
So you're right in the middle of what they say. It never hurts to call and ask. Find out if it's stuck somewhere. Find out if they're waiting on one of their contracting companies to reach out to you for an exam. Find out what's going on. The VA help number, that 800-827-1000 number, is good for an array of things, and that's one of them. Check on your claim status. The va.gov website doesn't always update properly, so talk to a person. And again, they're human, so if you get someone who's not as helpful as they could be, then call back. You'll get someone else, and you can ask them. Danella, even file, why is MST hard to be approved? PTSD. Donella, MST is the worst. Just because it shouldn't ever happen to begin with, and it's one of the things that's very near and dear to my heart because that's what I'm rated for my PTSD. And we have a Women's Wednesday class that I think would be a great opportunity for you to learn more about that. And we dive a little deeper into these things that are really uncomfortable to talk about in bigger forums. So definitely get started. If you'd like a female coach, you can sign up with Coach Rochelle or myself. We'll have the links posted so you can do that. And we can get you in there and really start talking about those. But yeah, MST is hard to get approved because a lot of times they go unreported. And we don't report those things for many different reasons. Okay. So don't take that as, well, it'll never be approved. But sometimes, there are other avenues that you can go with that situation. Again, it's all situational, and it's all based on, your specific scenario. So get signed up, get with a coach, and that can be something that you break down with them. Thanks for that. They're the hard ones. All right. Kawanda has a question in there. Claim filed since December of 2020. Why always the VA requests additional information but never write what is needed? They request them and then cancel it and request them again and add a different number. Example, request 1 and request 2. We've seen this a lot, and maybe they requested it because they didn't see it and then, oh, here it is. Or they requested it and reached out and got it. It's not always a request for information from you. It's sometimes a request for internal information. Service treatment records are one of those. Other claims that have processed prior to this one, a lot of different factors go into that for sure. So don't pay too much attention to that, but you can call and check on it and say, what information were they requesting? They should be able to give you a good idea of what that is. But again, they don't always. Sometimes it's so frustrating just because there's no transparency. You don't know what's going on. You don't know what is happening behind the scenes, and that's part of that, what gets in the pit of your stomach and gets so aggravating about this process. So we get it. We understand. Keep calling, keep checking in. Stay patient. I always say that the government never issued me patience, so that's why it's so difficult for me. But we've got Aaron, claimed bruxism and TMJ secondary to PTSD. Does the VA give a bilateral rating if it's on both sides of the jaw? No. Usually, yes, I've seen bruxism combined with the TMJ and or combined with the PTSD. So both of those factors could be true, but nope, there's no bilateral rating on that one. Awesome. What else do we have? I see a couple of other ones. Mr. Dennis Rambo had a CNP for depression and they filled out the form at 100%. The claim is still out for review. 6 months more. How can I get help finding where the claim is? If you filed with a VSO, Veteran Services Officer, then they should be able to take a look and see what's going on. Or again, you can call the 800 number and ask them. Sometimes, again, sometimes you will not get an answer. They won't know. They won't know where to look. You guys, the VA hired 2,500 people in the last 6 months. They're learning. I know that's not a great excuse, but that's a fact. And so give them some of the grace that you would like to receive and exercise to the best of your ability patience. Join us. We have a great community of people within the Insider platform, and we're truly a family. We have classes on the weekdays that people look forward to coming to, and just being together, being with other members, other former service members who are going through this process too. They're all in different stages of that process. So it's nice because you can see someone who's gone through from start to finish, and maybe they've suffered a couple of losses or denials. Maybe they finally just won, or they won pretty quickly. There are so many different um, paths that have, or outcomes that we've seen. So you get firsthand experience with other veterans who are in the process too, and going through what you're going through. And you can commiserate, you can celebrate. It's awesome. And again, you can talk to our teammates for do a free 30-minute discovery call. Click that link. You can sign up for it with us directly. That's fine too. We absolutely love getting new veterans. Love talking to our tried and true veterans like Rick. Yeah, we appreciate you all very much.
Veteran Noonan just asked a good question, right? So he said, I filed for migraines secondary to PTSD. Does a secondary claim add to the total disability percentage, or does it upgrade PTSD to a higher percentage? So one, migraine secondary to PTSD is its own individual rating, right? Because it is a condition, and it's a secondary condition caused by a service-connected condition. Now, when you say, does it add to the total disability? Absolutely. It increases your disability if it's awarded service-connected. So in regards to upgrading PTSD, no, it's a separate condition. I hope that answered the question.
I think you did.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a separate rating, but it goes to your overall picture. Now, VA math is squirrely, in case y'all didn't know, and your PTSD rating will not be added linearly to your migraine rating if that's awarded. It will be percentage based. So
I believe it takes 10% claims to add up to 100.
Which
hilarious.
Which is nuts. Yeah, it's funny. They take your highest rating and take that away from your 100% as a whole, and then they take your ratings after that from what's left over.
The way I explain it to my veterans is, once you get a disability rating, you take that piece of pie out, and all that you've got left is what's left of the piece of the pie. So any additional rating you get takes from what's left of the pie, and it just keeps breaking down that pie. And that's how long it takes.
And 10% of 10 is 1. And 10% of 9 is even less. It's 0.9. Right. So it gets a little squirrely, especially at the end. But Chuck, thank you. We love having you at Coffee with the Coaches too. And helped
he's
get
one
him.
Of he's one of the examples. Yeah, when you have veterans that continue to support their fellow veterans who've already gone through the process and reached 100%, but they're still here sharing their experiences, even like helping motivate kind of the obstacles they faced, and encouraging others that, I went through this, and at the end of the day, reaching 100 or reaching the rating you deserve, the highest rating you deserve, is what kind of the resilience and persistence is for. And there's a lot of free chicken in all of those coffee with the coaches and classes that we offer.
A lot. Yes. And Ben, you hit something right on the head. Your friend
Mm.
gave you some bad info. And that is bad info, incorrect info is out there everywhere.
Mhm.
So trust but verify, right? Don't take what anybody says as solid word. Do the research, look it up. There are plenty of educational resources from us, from the VA. They send out quarterly updates. They send out random emails with some updates. Their website is updated, not always, but definitely verify the information you're given. Ask questions in this forum, ask questions in the other forums. Um, yeah, we really.
He's got Coach Ryland, so yeah, definitely ask Coach Ryland. I saw up above. Who was that? Oh, veteran Baker. He says, I've claimed for tinnitus and got 10%, but I also claimed hearing loss because of the tinnitus and got denied. Can you help? Two completely separate conditions, right? The factors, and what I mean by separate condition is they have their own rateable percentages. So one, if you're claiming a condition is caused by another condition, you want to make sure that you have the nexus. What's going to be important is for you to connect with a coach so that you guys can kind of go over the details. What is in your records? What was your exposure? What was your onset? When did you start experiencing the symptoms? And that way you can identify that you are filing the claim correctly.
On top of that, there are some proposed changes for the way tinnitus and hearing loss
Oh, that's right.
is going to be rated.
That's
So
right.
that should be taken into consideration later on. But hearing loss right now, as it's rated, you pretty much have to have significant hearing loss even with the use of hearing aids to get anything above a 0. And that's
Mhm.
broken down also in the 38 CFR. So you can check that out. But it's difficult to get anything above a 0, and often they will quote your your hearing test to say, well, you don't fall below that threshold, or you didn't fall below that threshold within a year of getting out of active duty service. So again, all of these factors that we're talking about that maybe you're like, what? They're in the 38 CFR. You can communicate those directly with a coach if you sign up, and it'll really help you get some clarity on your own situation and what path to take. Miranda said her husband put in for snoring and they sent him for CNP. At the appointment, found out he was diagnosed with sleep apnea in 2011 while on active duty and never told, giving him 30% for it. Is there any way to get back pay from his first claim since he was never diagnosed? And he got out in 2012 and did his first claim then. Again, back pay has so many different factors. It is not likely that he'll be able to get back pay for then. But if he is using a CPAP machine, then I would look at getting an increase for the sleep apnea at this point. And let's see. David had 2 CNP exams last month. Average time for a decision. David, we keep telling you, we don't know. The average time is it's all over the place. I've seen decisions come back in 2 hours,
Mhm.
and I've seen them take over a year. It's
Yeah.
really hard to say. So,
But it's published by the VA that it could take anywhere from 90 to 120 days
yes.
to give you an answer.
But the real answer? So, thank you. And I don't mean to poke fun, but truly, it's so all over the place that
Mhm.
just be patient. You know, I checked my e-benefits probably every hour on the hour until my decision came in. Every time. I'm neurotic. What can I say? That's me. I don't recommend doing that. It's not good for your mental health, but do something, keep your hands busy, keep your mind occupied, have like a set day that you check.
Right.
Ben says he's checking every day too. Like, yeah, I get it. It's anxiety provoking. So just keep on it. You're doing great. We absolutely know what that anxiety does. And that's another reason it's awesome to come in um, to our Zoom classes, our live Zoom classes that we offer to our elite members, because, man, it's just a place to get that off your chest sometimes. I've been waiting for this long. And people are going to come around you and rally around you and say, hey, you got this. You can stay patient. It's all right. It's going to come. And here's the thing, if it comes back and it's not what you wanted, feel it, get mad, but then get strategic and go back at them. Don't give up. Don't stop fighting until they get it right. Okay. And if you're not right, if you think that you should have an increase in something, but you haven't looked at the 38 CFR to know what your symptoms warrant, that could be a possibility too. But that's why, we won't let you do that. If I'm your coach, you're not going to do that. You're going to
Mhm.
know what you should be rated based on your symptoms. And that information is there and readily available, and we share it with you so that you are educated. And an educated veteran, man, you're dangerous. You're
Mhm.
dangerous. So awesome. Let's see. Any other questions? Philip, waiting on a CMP exam for unemployability. Um, got some percentages out there. Tell your story. Tell your story and be uncomfortably vulnerable. That's the best I can give you. It truly, let them know. And if you understand your symptoms and how they should be rated, that's even better. And understand how they impact you.
Mm. And your limitations.
Mhm.
Hmm.
And you can articulate that, that's even better. Absolutely. They will also probably connect with your last employer, and it's a good idea to, if you have a relationship with them, let them know to expect it, because those TDIU um, claims get hung up a lot of times because the VA can't get in touch with a former employer. Mr. Ramos, can sleep apnea be claimed as a secondary to TMJ? There could potentially be a link there. Um, Potentially. That's something to explore. Absolutely. And I would get with a coach to do that.
Got
Uh,
veteran keys just to kind of help him out because he said he came in late. So I'd hate for him to miss out on the clarification of it, right? So, what's needed for a fully developed claim? When you're filing a fully developed claim, just plain and simple, it's when you, as the claimant, submit everything needed to be reviewed to prove the service connection. So, when we discuss Golden Circle, we're talking your diagnosis. If you don't have a diagnosis, can't file for service connection. The VA
Get
will
to the
not
doctor.
compensate you. The in-service event, the disease, the injury, the aggravation, whether it's primary or secondary service-connected condition. What's the nexus? Via competent medical evidence. It's the opinion that links number 1 and number 2. And then number 4, just like Coach Liz was elaborating on, is what is your symptoms? What is the severity of your symptoms? Can you articulate what it is so that you can be properly rated, accurately rated? So in summary, those are the 4 parts.
Well said. Absolutely. Let's see. One more question. Cousin has a business, hopefully with my next claim, be at 70% mark for the 100% TDIU eligibility to work in a protected and sheltered work environment with him. Is that considered a family business to the VA? So When you're looking at TDIU, there are pretty strict requirements, and those should be reviewed before you go and seek work, um, before you file for those conditions, or not for those conditions, but before you file for TDIU, especially, make sure that it is. I short don't know the answer to that, because it is more complicated than that. It's not quite that cut and dry. So do the research, check it out first, um, and then also, you know, get with the coaches and see if there's anything in there that you could be rated for to get you to 100% scheduler,
Mhm.
because that could be a possibility too. And John, headache secondary to Meniere's. Uh, Potentially, again, with these kind of things, if there is a connection and if there's medical data to support it, then potentially yes. Um, Meniere's is one of those gems. It can be rated at 30, 60, or 100%. So if you meet the criteria for a higher rating for your Meniere's, check that out too and see if you're eligible. Absolutely. Um, Facebook user filed for GERD and not initially approved, submitted an HLR with an argument letter, and won the claim at 10%. Looked over CNP results based on symptoms, look like should have been rated at 30%, but missing one element, the substernal pain. Even though it's not initially listed on my Nexus, should I file a supplemental for an increase for what you think you were missing?
Supplementals
Without
require new and relevant evidence, right? So if you've got the new and relevant evidence that supports what they stated is why your condition didn't warrant the 30%, then yes, absolutely submit a supplemental with that new evidence. Especially if you can speak to and support your symptoms with that. Sometimes it's worth, going to a doctor, because you go to the doctor, get your symptoms noted, and then develop that additional evidence if you feel like you're underrated.
And here's the thing with GERD. To get a 30% rating for GERD, it's got to have a considerable impairment to your health. What does that mean? The VA doesn't really say what that means. And so you've got to prove that there is this considerable impairment to your health. And what that means, for me, my GERD is so bad that at least several days a week, I get food stuck and I have to throw up. Otherwise, it's just going to stay there and create excruciating pain. Vitamin deficiencies. There are so many things that could talk to the point that it's a considerable impairment of your health. The truth is, if you don't go to the doctor and complain about it, they don't think it's considerable. So get to the doctor,
Mhm.
complain about these symptoms, tell them what's going on, and that's going to also help that medical evidence piece for you to get rated accurately. It's not always what you tell them. They want proof.
Subjective versus objective evidence is key.
Absolutely. Mr. Ramos, can I claim back pain even if it was not on my record? Carrying electric motors almost every day for more than 5 years straight. That's a loaded question. And is it possible? Yes. Is it probable? We'd have to check it out. We'd have to take a look and dig into your situation, personally. So get with us, get with a coach. You can schedule a 30-minute call. You can sign up with a coach directly. You can sign up for our elite program directly and find out. Absolutely. Awesome. You guys, we've got about 5 minutes. Just to kind of close this out, I want to thank you all for being here with us today. We appreciate all of your questions and you being here and spending this hour of your time with us, for making it painless. And engaging with us so there's no dead space, because that makes my anxiety peak. So I appreciate that very, very much. My link to sign up with me directly is on the screen right now. Um, I promise I'm always this neurotic. So this is what you get. But I love my veterans, and I'm blessed to get to do this. So, and anybody that you sign up with has the same attitude, the same mentality. Um, we love what we do.
Absolutely.
And Coach Rochelle Seabury's information is up there. You can sign up with her if you'd like somebody less neurotic.
Hey, I don't know if I can make any promises. It's just because the camera's on. That's the only thing that lets me down.
I think it makes me more jittery.
Yeah.
But no, for real, thank you guys very much. We have like 4 minutes. You got a couple more questions, we can ask those. If you've got a testimony you want to share, pop that in the chat and we'll share it. I know that Chuck's rated for he posted in the chat. I'm not sharing private information that he didn't share, but he said he got 100% for his Meniere's secondary to his tinnitus, which is amazing. And again, the threshold for 100% on Meniere's isn't as high as you think it would be, which is why I absolutely recommend checking out that 38 CFR to see what you should be rated. It could surprise you. Back conditions always surprise me at how low they are rated. It's insane. So, Sherry, good session. Hey, thank you all. Thank you for being here and for asking and participating. We appreciate it.
Benjamin, thanks for all your help. Gonna go back to frantically checking my claim status.
Yes, do it. Oh, I appreciate your candor. Makes for good fun. Yep. And again, the link, click on it, sign up. It's not going to hurt anything. Um, if you sign up and you don't win, you don't pay. Um, you can sign up and talk to a coach and see where it goes. Awesome. Good deal. I don't think anybody else has any other questions or any testimonies to share today. So thank you all. We appreciate you.
Joining us.
Yeah. And in closing, I'll recap the golden circle for you real quick. What are the 4 things you need? 1, a diagnosis, current diagnosis of a condition. 2, you need an in-service event, aggravation, or disease. 3 is the nexus, the link that a medical professional makes between the first 2. And then 4, the severity and impact in way of duration and what was the other one? Frequency of your symptoms. If you've got all 4 of those, you've got a fully developed claim, and send it and see what happens. Again, sometimes the VA will get it wrong, but fight it until they get it right. And if you want coaching through that process, we're here. We're absolutely here. You can click on the link and we'll get you connected with somebody ASAP. And that's all I got. We appreciate you all.
Thank you. Thank you, Coach Liz. It was a pleasure serving with you today. And I'll see you on the other side.
Yes, ma'am. Bye, y'all.